Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about forgiveness and why it's important a little bit, and as far as from my perspective, and as far as like the projection piece that kind of ties into being able to forgive. Remember, I'm no expert. I'm just going through this day by day, little by little, each day trying to be better than the day before. I want to be better for myself, a better person in general for the world, a better husband, a better father, a better friend, and just being better in general, trying to live that better life. Subscribe to the channel, like if you like it. If not, hey, it's up to you. So for the forgiveness piece, this is, being able to forgive is huge. It's not an easy thing. It is a process, just like everything else. Everything seems to be a process, and the forgiveness I'm talking about today is more so forgiveness for us. Being able to forgive ourselves for things that we perceive, so that we don't project. Because for me, so for the last couple days, some of the books, been reading, the Book of Awakening, right? Yesterday's was daily reading was about putting down pain, and a lot of times we need to practice that forgiveness for being able to let go of the pain that we're internalizing, because I know for me, a lot of what I carry is from my deployments, and peel back that scab every now and then to look at it, to keep the wound fresh, to try and refocus, make sure that I don't make those mistakes again, right? But the thing is I've never forgiven myself for what I perceived and what I kind of, as a continual feedback of my failings, my shortcomings, the things that I could have done better, should have done better, and would have done better had I known, right? The should have, would have, could have. And then, so it's my bookmark. The couple days ago, the 24th, talks about admitting when we're wrong and our own self-righteousness, right? So having, sorry, but here's the book, Alchemy 365. One of the biggest things that I carry is from deployments, right? The things that could have done better and really wish had done better, because just within the last few days, I'm operating on this weird kind of split day thing, like where it's one day here, but I'm like forward in a whole nother day. It was Gold Star Mother's Day, all right, so it should be Gold Star Parents Day, right? It's where somebody has been lost on deployment, and having put the transfer cases on the airplanes of personnel weighs heavy. It's hard, especially when some of them were people that had come through. So it's my fifth deployment. We are in Afghanistan, and I was responsible for training the latecomers, and updating, making sure they had the most current knowledge for, at the time, Combat Lifesaver, CLS, what would now be equated over to TC3 type standards. And we had a kid that came through, and he, later on in the deployment, I was putting him on a plane in a transfer case to send back home to his family. And this is where the should've, would've, could've's come into play, because could I have taught our medics more? Should I have taught our medics more? I don't know. And it's always really weighed heavily on me. And so this is where the projection piece comes into play, because like I project those things outward onto other people as far as training. We need to train. You need to know this. You have to know this. You have to have this down. You have to be able to reach into your aid bag and know what you're grabbing, and you have to be, don't waste your energy. Don't place your hand in a place it doesn't need to be. Like all these things, right? And it just keeps going, and to practice this forgiveness, to learn that for your own well-being, for your own betterment, you have to start letting these things go. They happen. The events happen. There's no denying that. There's no denying it. They happened. It doesn't make it right. And learning that things happen. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. You know, I really don't. Learning to accept them and acknowledge them is the level where it needs to be, instead of that guilt, that, you know, fear of it happening again, the unrealistic expectations of being there in that exact moment. I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know how the medics performed. I don't know if they did everything they were supposed to do. Could I have done anything different if I was there? These, you know, all these unknowns, right? But where it comes, the forgiveness piece really comes into play, of being able to forgive myself. And if I ever come across this kid's family, I don't know if I would ever be able to ask for forgiveness. I would like to think that I would get to a point to where I could ask for forgiveness. I know I didn't have any part in it directly, but it's, you know, I can't imagine. I can't. What it would feel like, what it felt like. I know what it felt like for me, putting the PFC on the plane. And that was hard. And that was hard. But where it goes into the projection is, if you go like, so a lot of, if you just Google and search projection and forgiveness and things like that, there's a lot of stuff that comes up. Healthline has been a really good one that I go to try and, you know, do my PCCs, PCIs, my knowledge expanding, making sure that I have a better understanding of stuff, you know. But for Healthline, you know, projection, they talk about placing negative traits or unwanted emotions you don't like about yourself and attributing them to somebody else. For me, for this event, the projection that I was having a lot of times afterwards was that the medics weren't taking things seriously. Even when I was a part of a training class, that not a training that I was giving, but the training that I was in, and people weren't taking it seriously, I would project out and say, you aren't taking this stuff seriously. You are acting a fool. You need to take this seriously. And, you know, I don't know who all ever watches these videos. We don't get to see that, I guess. But Sergeant Perez, A in Table 8's, I truly am sorry. That was a projection of things stemming from events like this. I truly am sorry. You know, but it's guilt and fear that really drives a lot of the projections that we have. And, you know, being able to forgive ourselves and start that forgiveness process for ourselves, I think is very important. Admitting when we have made mistakes is, the important factor of it. I made the mistake of not addressing these things, not acknowledging them, and holding on to them, because if I let them go, am I letting that memory go? Am I not keeping it in my brain? If I let it go, am I still going to be able to acknowledge it? And I'm learning that even though I acknowledge it, it doesn't mean I have to hurt anymore. And I'm able to forgive myself. Yeah. I am able to forgive myself and start that forgiveness process for myself, so that I'm better able to forgive others when we have made mistakes, and I don't have that resentment. And that was one of the other few days, is talking about holding on to resentment and stones and letting things go, and not carrying the weight. So in the military, we have our rucksacks, and we keep putting all of our gear in there, and we keep putting things in our rucksacks. Well, just think about it, your brain as a rucksack. The more you keep in there, the heavier it gets. And these are one of those things that, I have to put down. I have to set it aside and say, yes, I acknowledge it happened. I don't know if I could have done different, but I forgive myself for not knowing better at that time. Try to. We go through all the trainings, we do all the stuff we're supposed to do so we can be better ready, a ready medical force, and a force that is medically ready. But you never know. You can't plan every contingency. You can't plan for every event. And this isn't finding excuses. This is just acknowledging, an acknowledgement that things happen. It's life, and on the Instagram, the picture shared yesterday, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We say wrong things, we do wrong things, we fall, we get up, we learn, we grow, and we move on from the event. It's not diminishing it. It's not taking away from it, from the significance of it and how it impacts you. What does diminish it and takes away from that significance is if you don't learn from it, if you don't grow from it, if you don't get up from it. 42 years old, and I'm still impacted by things from my 20s and my 30s and probably from my childhood, and I don't want those projections onto our children, being a better father, being a present father for them, and not having my own insecurities, my own fears, my own guilt project onto them. Do I want them educated and aware? Yes, I do. And these are the things that will help with it. Another thing is learning about ourselves, learning how we can continually move forward with things. Being able to forgive ourselves, to be able to forgive others, is huge. It's scary. Life is scary, but it's definitely that having compassion for ourselves, to be able to have compassion for others. No one is perfect. And being able to have that as a teachable moment and acknowledge it as a teachable moment is huge. So hang in there, keep doing your best, keep trying, get up every day and try. Some days you can do 20%, other days you're able to give 100%. The only days that aren't really necessarily good days are days where you don't give anything. Even if it's just 1%, If you improve 1%, that's still 1% better than you did before. Keep trying. Hang in there. You know, we'll all get through this. And I'm here to help. If you ever need anything, drop a message. Do whatever you need to do. You know, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. There. And hang in there. I believe in you. And definitely proud of you for trying. Thanks for coming. See you guys next time. Remember, subscribe, like, let me know how I'm doing. Have a good one. See you next time.